I'll pass to you, Griff, to kick us off.
Fire, man. Love these debates are so well attended. We have to like turn off our videos so everyone can come in. Lots of votes already. It's a neck and neck race, and I think the results have a good chance of flipping. So, not to mention, I have Sem in this other room deploying the last test version. I'm so happy. Somehow, by some magic, he really stepped it up and has been testing the hell out of it. We've had two good test deployments where we nailed the parameter sets exactly how they're supposed to be, and now we're doing the last test with a difference in the amount of dye that's going in, so we can practice parameterizing and adjusting once, and then we're actually changing up the launch plan a little bit because we've done so many tests. Now we found a way to exclude block scout from our testing procedures, so we don't have this delay. So we won't have to deploy a day early. We'll just wait until the final results and then deploy. It'll take like 2.5 to 4 hours max to deploy. That's assuming that there's some big problems, but there won't be because we've deployed so many times at this point. So it feels really good. It feels like the give it launch where it's like we probably did too much testing, which is what we need to do. So I just feel really good about everything on the Pram side and on the Common Swarm side. I'll pass it to Olivia.
Yeah, temperature is hot. 56 votes. That's so 58 now. That's crazy. It's like unheard of. Like 58 people voting on a DAO, any DAO. Like is that a DAO that didn't even fully launch yet? It feels really incredible, and this is like major props to all the coordination that we've been having here that has been built for so long to be working flawlessly now. And yeah, it's beautiful to see everyone's engagement, and I think the level of education being built in the community is not to be undertaken also. Like people are actually understanding about these proposals, and this was the goal we had when we started like after the primary votes of like, okay, we didn't have such a good voter turnout there. How can we actually educate more people to participate in this? So I think we nailed it. And also, yesterday, Angela was just like so impressed about the voters pamphlet. She was like, I think every community should have this. Never seen such good resources for a token launch. And then we started to talk about how we could improve the token engineering aspect of it, like for future iterations. And she was super happy to collaborate with that. And I think this is just a start for more and more people to want to collaborate with this model that we're building. So I think it's just amazing what's happening. And I'll pass to you, Edu.
Thank you, Livy. There are very two distinct feelings for me as a status check. The first one is the full circle feeling of starting building up the Hatcher outreach and try to reach to this point if we ever could. And I felt like for me I felt accomplished in that sense. And secondly, there was this guy who we barely talk. We just send messages for hot outreach, and sometimes we have exchanged any other conversation. And he messaged me a few weeks ago, and he's like, "Hey, how have you been? Happy holidays. I hope you're good. Happy new Christmas." And it was this kind of wake up call that we have built up relationships with people, and they remember us for holidays. And for me, that was with along this of the Hatcher outreach moment. This moment of the votation, the turnout, is a full circle. So I'm really content and happy with this. And yeah, that's it. Pass it to you, Juanca.
Thanks, Edu. Well, I feel like things are going in a really fast pace, but it's cool because, like, this thing of the boat runoff has been really, really, really big. But at the same time, It will be closed tomorrow, and it's just the start of a new um, framework, of a new era for all of our projects and for the TEC. So it's really cool. And at the same time, yeah, I've been working on Gravity. And today I posted the proposal on the forum, like for advice process. And yeah, I think it will be really cool, like finding the work and um, having all a lot of people like wanting to contribute. That's really cool. And yeah, that's it for me. I will pass to Mert.
Thank you. For me, like I'm getting more involved to TC community for the last couple of weeks. It's blessing, like the level of like param parties, etc. It's so enriching. Also, the sense of community is like amazing, and I feel like super like glad for it. Just to say. So I pass to Tam. You did
I'd
it?
say,
No, sorry.
yeah. I'd say, I mean, I'll reiterate this idea of collaborative economics is really about having an informed populace. So not about, anyone being able to define the best parameters, but everyone understanding what the parameters mean. And I think like kudos to the parameters working group for like mission accomplished. Like Wonka's like, even I could do it. And I'm like, I know Wonka, even I could do it. So I feel like that's a huge testament to like, okay, well, anyone in the community actually could create parameters that are, I don't know, whatever they're thinking and whatever they're learning, and then, incorporate that learning into what they're doing. So I think that's really, really cool. And then I'd say, yeah, the other thing is, I've been thinking about our cultural build, and like culture comes and it goes and it's easy to disappear. And I'm going to propose that we have for the council tomorrow the subject of like, what is the importance of the cultural build in the TEC? So we could talk about that a little bit later. But this idea of like practicing the culture keeps the culture alive. And yeah, I think that's interesting. I've been thinking a lot about that this past week, actually. So maybe that's something that I'm starting to wonder about before we launch the Commons. Like, do we, is everyone aligned in our stewards and in our community about the importance of the TEC culture? And do we, like, maybe we want to reflect on how important it is or how important it isn't together? And I'll pass to Manu.
Thanks, Tam. Yeah, well, for me, I've reaching out to Hatchers. I've been working on the Concilios Library Manifesto along with Mert, working on an article with him as well. Overall temperature check, oh man, I missed the last 108 because I went out drinking with a friend yesterday, but I'm gonna watch the repetition. And overall, yeah, I'm just excited to see what happens after Common Soccer and see the traction that we get. What if we get like hundreds of people coming in and we're just overwhelmed? Like, I just want to see, like, as an onboarding guide, I want to see how we maneuver around that, and I'm excited to keep growing with all of you. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to pass it back to you, Tam.
And I'll pass to Lauren.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, I love what everybody's been saying about collaborative economics. I'm feeling like, oh man, I'm so tired of presenting goldies. It's like, oh my god, like for real. Another person asked me why the Entertrip is 2 pounds and explode. but like, the really cool thing is that so many people have good questions, and so many people, like, because of this like iteration and the repetition, like so many people are really coming in. And it was crazy how great that the last debate we had the call exploding with people. Like, we had to shut our videos off. So it's like collaborative economics. I think this, like, I know we did it in a weird way, extending the vote, and everyone was like, oh, maybe we should have done it better and done a little more advice process. But I think that like the decision to do so has like really shown a lot of value. It's like, we have more people who care, more people who know what's going on. And then I've even like been convinced by basically all the other proposals that all of them are pretty good. And so it's really cool. I think that this has been like such a good thing for the TC. I'm feeling really excited, and it's also really nice like having Sem here, and Sem and Griff are gonna hang out and work on the Commons upgrade stuff, and it's just really nice to be also like in the heart of the Commons upgrade. Yeah. I guess that's my general temperature check. All the things I can think right now. I'll pass it to Mitch.
Yeah, I think my temperature check's going to depend on the call after this one, which is the reward system. But in general, I'm feeling super excited about A, the reward system, getting the quantifiers going, and B, the Commons upgrade, of course. I was hoping for a more confrontational debate, which is funny. I was thinking of like the American politics and like Biden and Trump, sort of thing. But maybe we dodged a bullet on that one. But anyway, it all of it's pretty exciting. And I'll pass it to Todd.
Hey everyone, I'm just listening. I joined the TEC Discord a few days ago. I've been a supporter of the Common Stack and TEC and kind of a lot of the related network. So I'm really just orienting myself and trying to get the context to hopefully start to participate or contribute in a more meaningful way. So I'm appreciative of all of you, and I'm excited to listen in today. Thank you.
Todd, we didn't have orientation call this week, but if you need any assistance, you can send me a DM or to Manu and we will reach you out back.
Okay, thank you. And I'm calling in from Colorado.
Nice.
Welcome. Thanks.
Welcome
Appreciate
to
it.
the Stewards Weekly. Maybe I'll pass to Zep.
Thank you, Tam. Yeah, I mean, the vibes are high. I am also agree with Mitch. I really would love more confrontation. I think that's very fun. And I think like we have like good relations between each other, so it shouldn't hurt at all. And yeah, I mean, I'm also so excited like about those two other votes that are in the snapshot. And I'm a little bit sad, like one is like, oh, let devs choose. Like the devs are trying so hard, so we choose what to do. And then in one vote is like devs. And I mean, and this is my second option in one, but it's because I want the reserve ratio to be the best. And then devs is my second option because probably the devs are going to keep the reserve ratio the same. I don't know if that's the reasoning, but why it's so high, but yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, back to you, Tam.
Okay, and Benz, I think you haven't gone. You're the only one who hasn't gone yet. If you want to just share temperature in the community.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about the launch. The whole, all the parameter debates has gone really well. I'm excited about like how participatory it's been, and I think self-governance, that's the key, is like broad participation. So I'm excited about where this is going, and just yeah.
Cool, thanks for that. All right, so the first thing on our agenda is to introduce a new joint initiative between the Token Engineering Commons and Token Engineering Academy. A lot of praise goes to MS really for coordinating on this. But it looks like the Token Engineering Academy monthly introduction to engineering is now going to be co-hosted by the Token Engineering Commons. So we had a call about it last week, and Edu, of course. And what we will be doing is presenting about 20 minutes of the call, the Token Engineering Commons, and then being around to answer questions. So I thought it'd be nice for the stewards, somebody to volunteer for who would like to start doing that. And maybe we could have sort of rotating. We could have one steward every month do the presentation and be available to answer questions. So it's going to be next week, January 19th at 4 p.m. CET. And I guess it's open if you want to present, maybe just throw your name on here. I have a TEC introduction that I did a number of months ago. We could use that as a base and build upon it so that anyone can just grab the deck and present the TEC to the token engineering community every month. So looking for volunteers who wants to do it. So please throw your name up if you want to do it. And then the other thing is like participation. It's open, like it'd be great if more stewards show up and more people, we invite more people from the token engineering community. So an introduction to token engineering is a great way to learn about both token engineering and Academy and token engineering commons at the same time. And then promotion, Chewy, I dropped this in the Discord thread just to ask that we can also promote this. Okay, vote ends tomorrow. Okay, anything else about that? Maybe there's any questions or anybody want to say anything about this monthly meeting we'll start having with the TE community?
What do you mean by participants? I mean, I'm
Oh, that's just like us joining. Yeah, that's just like us being there. Like,
yeah.
if you can hop on the call, it's great because the more people can field questions, the better. Maybe it should be like represent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally down. And presentation, maybe like after many people do it before me, then I can just learn a bit. I wouldn't mind. But for the beginning, just participate seems fine.
Cool. Okay. If nobody signs up on this call, I'll keep checking with people and seeing if there's somebody who wants to present. It's only a short 20 minutes.
I would be happy to do that.
Oh, cool. Great, Wonka. Awesome. I'll share with you the deck for the introduction, and maybe we can you can have a look and see how you want to customize it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Wonka.
Thank you.
The vote ends tomorrow. Holy moly macaroni, we did it. Can I just say, what the F? We're finally here. I feel like after so long, we're finally here, and it's very, very, very cool. So maybe we just take a moment to, okay, maybe we don't celebrate quite yet. One thing I do want to say is that we did offer Sem to have a sort of celebration for his exiting the Stewards. And he and I informally agreed that actually we're going to celebrate in Barcelona. And he only wants to celebrate after the Commons upgrade is officially done. So, hey, Sem. Nice to see you. We're trying to figure out where we're going to celebrate after the Commons upgrade. We think Barcelona.
I think it's a good place. But in March, because I will not be there if not.
All right.
Colombia. Sam is going to visit Colombia. And yeah, that's a good time.
So cool. How's it going? How's it going, Sam?
Well,
feeling confident?
Yeah, totally. We have been testing it a lot of times now, and yeah, it's almost done.
What can we do to help? What can we do to support you?
Just come. Nothing for now, but I will tell you if I need something. We will be now arranging the parameters. Thinking that nobody rage quits, so maybe later we can share which are the insights on doing that, just in case we have fewer rage quits than we thought or something like that.
Cool.
Is it the Stewards call?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we are here with that.
And what are you doing right now?
Creating a new Hatch DAO, a kind of Hatch DAO. It's not a real Hatch DAO, but it is going to mock the amount of TCs that are going to be migrated and TCH that are going to be migrated and test the migration. So the garden receives the tokens, mints the new tokens, and all of this.
How many test Hatch DAOs do you think you've deployed at this point?
Many.
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 A dozen at least. Okay, sorry.
No, so glad you did that. Thank you, Sam, because we can't do this without Sam, frankly.
No.
It's impossible.
Praise.
Cool. So, the question came up around ranked choice voting, and it made me raise also another flag. So not another flag, another question. So we have the ranked choice voting here, which shows the top 2. And then in another one, it shows the top 3. And I was wondering, does anybody know?
Yeah, I'm so
Why?
sorry. So I never hit send on this, but I guess I
okay.
should. But basically, it's because ranked choice voting stops when one result wins 50% of the vote.
Okay.
So it eliminates the fewest number of first place votes until the top voted proposal has over 50%, and then it stops. So if it's a really tight race, it'll just be 2, and if it's like one has a large majority, then actually it ends up being 3 or even 4. I mean, if 50% of people voted for one choice, then it wouldn't eliminate any of them, and you'd see all the percentages.
But this is 55.
So yeah, it'll always stop after 50. So once it reaches 55.
Oh, okay.
So like if let's say that over 50% chose option number 1 as their first choice, then you just see the first place votes. None of the options would have 0%, unless of course no one voted for them. But does that make sense? Not quite.
Everybody understands it? Does anyone else understand it?
Yeah, it's like maybe I don't know. I use simple words. I don't know. Like the thing is like after one proposal reach like more than 50%, then there's no ranked choice voting. Like it just show wherever people voted. And since there's 55 that surpasses, then yeah, there's no elimination. But then if there's some proposals without this 50%, then it starts to eliminate until reaching like 50%.
Maybe the missing piece is that little box on the side is showing if the results stop, if no one else voted right now, this would be the final result. It's not showing the current results. It's showing what the final result would be if no one else voted. And the way the final result is calculated is that it's like if one person, if one choice has over 50% of the vote, report results. Else, eliminate the fewest number of first place votes. The choice that has the fewest number of first place votes. And so then they eliminate the fewest number of first place votes, and that choice from the option, and everyone who put that as their first place vote gets their second place vote as their first place vote. And so then it does the math again. Is there 50%? If so, report results. Else, eliminate the next one. No, still not. Okay, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I had this question from a few hatchers, and I think part of when we submit proposals is that we should clarify what kind of voting is, and let's not assume that people understand what kind of vote it is, because I got a few questions of people like, hey, but I just don't understand if I can take my vote out. There is no description for me to say what is ranked choice voting and so on. So I think it could be interesting to clarify when we make another proposal, what does that imply? What does that kind of voting implies for the voter? And this one is a very key, votation vote, and we didn't clarify that, and people were confused a little bit about that. Just dropping that.
Livy made the forum thread for that.
For the description of how ranked choice voting works, specifically.
This is another forum thread, but
I think
there's also
Livy.
Yeah, there is a post that describes, but I think it would be worth. I agree with Edu that we could have just like wrote a paragraph of like, this is the type of voting we're using and this is how it works. We assumed that people understood how ranked choice voting works.
I think I assumed I understood how it works too. And then seeing these three together, I was like, oh, I guess I don't understand. So, yeah. Is anyone else also not fully understanding how it's working, or am I the one who doesn't?
I can give an explanation of how it made sense to me, because I was also confused about it. So, the way it works is that if a vote reaches more than than 50%, like it happened with this one that you're showing and with that other one that was 55, then ranked choice voting doesn't even operate. It just shows the results straight up. But then if something didn't reach 55, if there's a dispute between one vote and another that are fighting for the majority, like the Commons Upgrade vote now, then it will show the top 2 ones that are working through elimination. So eliminating all the bottom results of the other votes is giving this final calculation for the top 2. So
Yeah.
that's why it's not showing all.
The conflict here with this visualization is that if we don't clarify, people can assume that no one has voted for the other 3. Therefore, it could be ambiguously giving favoritism to the top 2. You know, like if I go to an election, if I go to an election and I see 5 options, but then I see my one has no votes, I won't vote for it because I feel there's such a pressure of, oh, it's meaningless if I vote for this one. But these kind of things, I think, are worth clarifying down the road. Not for this one. It's for the next ones.
Approval voting.
Say that again, Seth.
Approval voting. It's much easier to everyone to understand.
Approval voting? What is it?
It's a type of vote where you put all your weight on all the proposals you like, and then you see, for example, if I like Ostroms and Goldilocks, then I put all my votes in both proposals. And then, yeah, it's easier to understand because you put your full weight on every proposal.
And I guess you have some limit to how many, like choose 3 or something.
No,
like
you can choose. If you choose all the 5, then it's like you would vote for nothing. But you put your full weight on the ones you like.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I also think that it looks like nobody's voted for the other ones, and it is misleading, and I don't think that's necessarily bad, just that it's very difficult for people to understand that who don't know, you know. So I don't know if it's worth doing a special forum post on ranked choice voting, like some of the or some sort of information where we can help educate the people who are using in our community who are using ranked choice voting on how it works.
I think now it's too late, but for future.
Not for this.
No, but for the future, we could have a brief explanation before the debates. I think that would help.
All right, cool. Anything anybody else wants to share about the vote tomorrow? Now is a great time. Anything else about the voting, about the closing of the vote, about timelines?
I haven't actually corrected the spreadsheets, but the timeline will probably get the hatch vote up by around noon.
Can you drop that spreadsheet? Sorry.
Yeah. And I'll update it too, but I'll drop it first and it will be wrong, just so you know.
Okay. So you're expecting around noon tomorrow, Friday? No, Friday. Noon Friday.
Noon tomorrow. No, noon tomorrow.
Okay.
The vote ends. Costa Rica time. Yes, the vote ends at 8 a.m. our time, and so it should take. I mean, I hope it's up before noon. It could be up as soon as 90 minutes. The speed record is 90 minutes to make one of these things, but we'll probably be extra diligent on checking, and as we should, and I would think we'll just be checking in and playing with it to make sure that everything is right until about noon. And I'll drop the spreadsheet in the Stewards channel.
Okay, yeah. Can we also maybe have a look at it just to refresh the timeline for conviction voting and ABC going live as well? Is it in the Stewards channel? Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I still want to do. Let's see. We'll just say, assuming worst case.
Okay.
This is going to be.
So the rage quit time is for people who disagree with the parameters. They have a certain amount of time to exit before we go live with the commons upgrade.
Yes.
And once that period ends, then we can go live with the commons upgrade and conviction voting will start so that we can vote to transfer funds to the bonding curve. And then that vote happens and then the bonding curve goes live. Is that the correct sequence?
Yep, exactly. So it'll take 6 days because we have a 4-day vote duration and a 2-day rage quit period for the conviction voting to open. And then we will have the ABC configuration by then sorted, so we can like right away launch the ABC vote at the same time that conviction voting starts, basically. And then we have the final timeline, but it's hard to say when it will be. It could be we'll know tomorrow how long after conviction voting starts till the ABC is open. We just don't know yet.
Okay. The reward board gets their funding and so does laser tag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I do think it'd be fun to have some laser tag ideas out before that. I don't know, if we're going to do token swaps, we could try setting some of those up. If we want to do, it just depends on what we want to try to pull off.
I think we were saying like just wait until the token stabilize a little bit, like a month or two.
Yeah.
But yeah, start talking. Seems a good idea. I also have a cultural question regarding the vote, and it's, for example, like, okay, Goldilocks win, but if not my first option, and neither the second, and then should I vote on the hatch DAO that I want Goldilocks to be the proposal? Should I vote no? Like it's weird, right?
I mean, you can vote no if you feel strongly about it. But I would, I would say it has some pretty good legitimacy after all this voting. So
yeah, totally. I think
I would argue your options are probably more like rage quit or vote no. But if you're gonna rage quit, you could vote no and try to make an argument to the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's weird, like because like in our hatch parameters, it's like 80% of the 88% of support requirement, but then like Goldilocks doesn't have like 80% of support requirement in the vote, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just this cultural thing.
Well, the hatch DAO is basically voting to lower it, right? That's like, it's kind of like a very complex vote that has a lot of pieces. But really, all it's doing is sending its money somewhere. But you could say that if Goldilocks wins, then you're basically voting to change the support required from 88% to 85%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but you bring up a good point, Septimus, and it's something to consider for future commons, actually. The sort of like opening for try to filibuster, but for like a Gordian knot. So yeah, it's a good point. Okay, cool. So any other questions around our voting dates, timelines, anything anyone else would like to bring up? Okay. One thing that came up in one of the fireside chats was the idea of, Chewy's not here, darn it, was the idea of using the covenant to challenge a proposal to the conviction voting, And the idea, and even I sort of had this idea, was that if there is an actor with bad intent, then who submits a proposal, and like I don't know even what examples there are, but I use the example of then they bribe people to vote for their proposal, and it was sort of like through questionable means that they get a proposal passed. We sort of thought that we could always rely on Celeste, but I think what Metaverde pointed out, coming from One Hive, was that Celeste can only say whether or not they've abided by the terms of our covenant, and our covenant doesn't actually say anything about sneaking proposals through the conviction voting. So we probably can't rely on that to prevent proposals from going through in a way that is not necessarily honest. But we will probably want to go back and maybe update our covenant for that purpose. Just one of these other things that sort of came up during these a lot of discussions and different points of view and different people coming in and sharing their experiences from their communities as well. All right, anything else with timelines?
I have one comment to that. I agree that there are probably many blind spots in the covenant that will come up, and we could like put them on a list and gather a few for the next process and iteration. But also we left it open enough so there is a subjective flexibility in it. So I think people could consider this like bribing against our mission, or people could consider bribing something that is not safe for the community, or something that is not inclusive, or that is insulting, or so I think there are a few points in the covenant that could stop that could justify what is written to stop something like this. But I think it's good to just keep all of them written so we can include in the next iteration.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to find out, actually. Maybe it'd be interesting to see how Celeste is working with other communities and how they have revised their own covenant based on like empirical data, like what has happened.
Yeah, One Hive has had only 3 uses of the covenant so far.
Yeah, it's pretty unlikely for us to need it too. But okay, cool. Yeah, that took me by surprise actually, because I hadn't thought that through, and then that made sense when that was shared.
Hello, I have a question or comment. I'm actually just here as an observer. I've been as an observer most of the communities reunions that you guys have been having. I'm fairly new to all the token engineering community. But yeah, I'm really interested in what you mentioned about voting manipulation and all of those things that are natural to happen in systems like this. And I am very interested in like analyzing or like working in ways of finding out if things like that are happening. And I have a lot of experience with things related to that in terms of simulation and math analysis to I don't know, to have some insight of some type if things like that are happening in systems like this. But I'm just wondering, like, who are the people in charge of this, or who I should talk if I'm interested, like, in participating more on that side of the structural organization of the tech or DAOs in general.
I mean, I think Livia is one of the best people to talk to. She's the working group steward for SoftGov, but also is part of Governance, which is more of a group of researchers from many different DAOs who are studying governance in DAO space. Livia, I don't know if you want to share anything or pull anyone else into the discussion.
Yeah, I was just thinking that could be something interesting to have, like someone thinking of possible attacks constantly to just like keep the community more resilient. Yeah, we can chat. Gustavo, I imagine is your name, Gustavo.
Yes, Gustavo. I'm from Mexico. Yeah, I'd definitely be interested in having a chat and helping in that way. Like that, I'm really excited about that.
Cool. That sounds really great. How fortunate that you joined this call. We're having this conversation, Gustavo. Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. And we have a lot of representatives from Mexico in the TEC. Maybe building a TEC army there, I think.
Yeah, I actually, Chuy is from the same city I'm from, and I actually know Chuy personally. So yeah, that's related to why I'm involved also here. Yeah.
Awesome. Welcome. He's bringing so many people in. All right, cool. So I have a suggestion for a subject for tomorrow's council. By the way, I think 7 people voted, so thank you. I think that's enough for us to change the council to 7 p.m. And the subject is the importance of the cultural build in the TEC. So just a heads up, I think we should invite more in the community, actually. So just sort of maybe post on Discord to invite other people to join as well, especially people that feel strongly about the cultural build in the TEC. And we'll figure out how to structure that conversation. But the idea is maybe to reflect on what our cultural build is, and then to share our ideas about the importance of culture and the importance of culture in the TEC, and sort of see what we come up with out of that discussion. So thanks for the changing the date. I thought we can't do this one without Livia, so I asked if we could change the date.
Thanks, Tim. Thank you, everyone, too, for the flexibility.
Cool. Okay, we have 15 minutes left. CV proposal request coming. So Chuy, you have 2 things that you want to share: the DWork platform and the CV proposals. Maybe let's quickly go through some of the faster things. We have 2 working groups that are soon going to retire: the Common Swarm and Parameters. So I think that the stewards from those 2 working groups could, I guess that's you, Griff, can sort of put together a sort of retiring ceremony celebration, and like, I don't know if we want the mission accomplished banner on the back of our ship, but like mission accomplished in a big way. So probably in the coming weeks after the Commons upgrade is all done, we can sort of have a nice celebration for the efforts, the tremendous efforts these 2 groups had. So I just want to put that on everyone's radar.
Cool.
I can help also with the goodbye document for Params and Common Swarm if it is needed.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, thanks Eddie for sharing that.
Yeah. And I think just toss it to me and I'll look at it and we'll see exactly. I mean, I'm expecting we can do this like maybe in a week or 2.
Oh, all right, so soon.
Oh, great. Okay, so soon. Okay, even longer.
I was thinking after ABC. Like, I'm looking at February.
Fantastic. After ABC sounds really good.
Cool. Yeah, I think after everything is done and you guys can really focus, like, you're not. Yeah, we don't want to take any focus away. And then
can I just interject? I don't know. I don't think it's on the agenda, but I think it's just worth mentioning. Is that okay? Or I can wait too. It should be quick. Since I have the floor, I'm taking it. I'm posting in the Stewards channel, just the Stewards channel, the Twitter for the TE Commons, because Chewy just put out 5 tweets that are interesting, and it's kind of like a voting on Twitter thing. So it's like retweet and comment why you are voting for each proposal. And it's a really fun program, but it will only work if we get some retweets. So if you're willing to publicly disclaim why you are, supporting each proposal, please take a moment to do that so we can really get the word out and inform our voters. Lots of people want to delegate their opinions to people they trust, and if you really care about which parameters you want to win, get out there and tell the world. So please engage with that. We are comms. Engage with Twitter.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that. And yeah, it's a good point. I can't wait to see them. I haven't seen them yet. Okay, the next thing is Mert. I don't know if you've accepted this, but to sort of be the YGG jumped on to the Communitas call yesterday to ask to have more links and a liaison from the TEC in PrimeDAO. And I believe Mert's name came up as like, he'd be great. So I guess I'm putting you on the spot, and I apologize for that. But I just want to share that, PrimeDAO is doing some PrimeDAO is doing some very interesting things, specifically this proposal inverter, but many other things that they're working on that are really well aligned with the TEC. So we have a lot of overlap and overline in our interests, and in a lot of the research that we're doing. So take a minute to hop onto the forum. Mitch already did. And to maybe we should consider this even outside as how the TEC can participate in this proposal inverter, probably as owners, payers, and brokers, actually. So maybe this is a subject for another time. But I wanted, because we have more things on our agenda. But I wanted to give Mert just a chance to say hello and maybe share your expectations as the liaison, one of the liaisons.
Hello, thanks for recommending me. I'm super honored. Basically, what I did a call with Ata and Alp. They are all saying hi to all of you guys. Basically, they want to work with TEC, especially in the ecosystem creation part. Since it's a co-liquidity funding tool, it needs some ecosystem to be engaged. So since Prime doesn't have manpower to do it, they want TEC to own the tool together, and for Prime will do the development with Longtail, and TEC will support it in the ecosystem creation part. And what they want me to do is that create this operation as a liaison, bridge those two communities and ensure the alliance. So that's it.
Okay, cool. That sounds great. If you don't mind, maybe we could have this on our agenda every week, just so to keep everyone informed of what's going on, and probably a bunch of other people will start jumping into these two, into PrimeDAO as well.
And I could suggest, Mert, that we could sync, or you can join any of the Communitas working group call, so you can start drafting or start understanding our process. Whatever you want to know, we are here.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I will be there.
Yeah, thanks, Edu. That was very important to share, to say. Okay, so
sorry, just quick comment about the tweet. Do you know if it was Chewy that put it out? Because mathematics isn't there.
It's
there. I saw it.
Might have it 0.
It's there.
0. It's there? Okay.
It's there. It has a Dr. Evil meme that says mathematics or something silly like that.
Yeah, you just have to scroll down more.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the community call came out, the scheduled community call tweet came out while he was tweeting all of them. So it's like, there's
not
a
in this
block.
main tweet though, but okay, maybe.
Oh, it's not a thread. Each one's an independent tweet. So you just have to.
There's just one that says the final params is today, and then it has Goldilocks, Ostrom's baby, Bolsheviks 420, and then there's no method.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know about that tweet.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I'll talk to.
Okay, cool. So I'm realizing Chewy wasn't able to join us today. So Zep, you wanted to raise credentials management and platform security.
Yeah, I mean, we did a quick vote signaling on either if we choose when someone is blocking giving credentials to a contributor, if like people DM me and then I post the result there, or we just keep it. I mean, the chat, I don't feel it's a public chat. I feel like the source chat is a private chat, but just like post it in there and then we can give our opinions. And I don't feel comfortable pushing like what actually is the winning proposal, because it's like only 5 votes and then it's 60-40, and a lot of people was arguing actually from the one that didn't win. But I would like if we could either vote, or if someone have like a very strong argument. My opinion is like in my opinion it's okay like to, you know, like it's just 40 people, 40 of us, like we are a group of friends, and in my opinion, like if we just put our opinions there, it shouldn't be bad. And actually it helps actually to keep more accountable and not relying in one person or two. But yeah, like I would really would like if in 5 minutes we could decide, and then actually so we can keep proceeding with the acid laser on Twitter, because actually yeah, he wants to be there.
So let me take a crack at framing the question. The question was how we are currently giving access to different platforms to community members. Is we put a poll on the Stewards Telegram asking should we give them access or not, and it is anonymous, maybe.
Yeah.
And the question is,
and actually,
people who
until now, if one person voted no, the vote was blocked, but we didn't frame what happened next, and then actually right now we're framing what happened next, and then yeah, we're having some discrepancy on how to proceed, and maybe like we could like the people who's here, like we say or either we'll vote on the poll, but I mean we need more people to vote. Like it's only 5 people actually, and I don't feel comfortable pushing, especially when it's like even.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I have a feeling this isn't something we could do quickly in 5 minutes, and maybe there's like a small group of people who get together and have their proposal for how to do this after like taking different perspectives, like doing advice process, getting a bunch of perspectives, and then just writing down the way to do access management to different platforms rather than this call.
Okay, so you suggest like advice process, then a snapshot vote, like by the community?
I'd say an advice process, and then just bring like the suggestion, you know, the proposal, instead of putting it on Snapshot, we could just bring the proposal to the Stewards working group.
Okay, I'll do that.
But but maybe you can even start with like, hey, here's what I think, and then other people could say, but maybe we could do it this way. I don't know if we want to make it a forum post or just something.
I'll type something into the Steward chat, but please, like everyone vote. Just read it and vote. Like this is like it helps a lot.
Yeah, I would say okay. Because we have 4 minutes left, so I just don't think we're going to be able to vote on this to everyone's satisfaction. So Wonka, I'm sorry, that leaves you with 4 minutes for the roadmap. Floor is yours.
Yeah, this is something that I have been working on with Durgadas, and I think it's really cool. And it makes 3 phases for the development of Gravity, and phase 3 is starting in next year in 2023, and phase 1 and phase 2 will be for 2022. This phase 3 is for 2023, and phase 1 and phase 2 is for 2022. And we have here like our orientation purposes, and phase 1 is like DAO bootstrapping continuation of activities. Then in phase 2 we want to transition to service DAO, and maybe in phase 3 like self-running service DAO. This is a draft, but it's like how we see ourselves maybe in a year. And here we want to continue having orienting principles for DAOs. Maybe then in phase 2 having marketing for groups, and like one of the cool things that I am and Durgas and I were talking about is like in phase 3, maybe for next year, it would be really cool to iterate on the TEC framework and maybe design a gravity token, and iterate on all these, like applying a bonding curve and having like a commons pool to fund instead of TE related projects, like projects related to trust creation and conflict management. So yeah, this is like the way we are going to we like design really fastly a roadmap for a year of operations of Gravity. And this first year, we will have two proposals to the TC, but we will still have a really good focus on getting new funds and funding streams, and also to continue fostering our activities and the services for conflict management. So yeah, this is something that I wanted to present.
Thanks for sharing that. This looks great. Durgas, I don't know if you want to add anything. Okay, I'm not even sure, Durgas, if you can hear.
You. Yeah.
I see you are speaking, but no sound is coming through. Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for sharing that, Juanca. Is there any feedback that you're asking for, or in this one last minute?
Yeah, no, that I think what we're doing in the TC is really cool, and that I think this can be a project that can iterate on the things that we're doing. And also maybe for next year we can have like our own gravity praise, our own source grid, maybe yeah, like even our own token. And this is something that was born from the TC, but this is also showing how we want to be sustainable and also become independent from the TC in the future.
Thanks a lot, Juanca, for sharing that. And it's in the Steward's agenda if anyone wants to jump in. We are out of time. Hi, Chewy. And we didn't get the chance to go through Chewy's 2 agenda items, and we'll push it to next week, and maybe even D-Work will have more stuff in it so that the demo will be even cooler. Thanks everyone for your time. We're at the top of the hour.